Is cheating in our nature? A lot of people think that humans are not naturally monogamous and that it originated from some economic, principle. But are we natural born cheaters? What do you think? We'll discuss that and more this week on the Talk to Q radio show. No experts, just opinions. Buckle up.
T2Q Radio.
Hey, what up, Q? What up, Radio World?
What's going on, people? I want to welcome all of you to another edition of the Talk to Q radio show. My name is Quincy, and this is my show. And I'm coming to you live from the south side of the T2Q office. It is Tuesday, December the 7th, 2021, and this is episode number 971. Search for me on social media by using hashtag T2Q. You can also search for Talk to Q. And please follow me and support me by liking and sharing things when you come across it. Thank you very much. Okay, so if you have an idea for show topics and you want to see discussed in the future, or maybe you want to be a guest on the show and you have feedback, then hit me up at talktoqnow@gmail.com. That's talktoqnow@gmail.com. We're talking about if cheating is natural. Or not. And so, let me go to the T2Q virtual phone lines and see who will be joining the mix this evening. And let me start here. Got a show legend who's chimed in.
What up, Radio World?
From the 601 area code in the Magnolia State of Mississippi. Please welcome on the original show legend, the Minister of Sexual Affairs, Eminem. What's shaking, man?
Hey, what up, Q? What up, Radio World?
What's happening, bro? How you making it?
Oh, man, good, man. Just in the studio, man. Shit.
Okay. You see I got
Getting hype.
that Eminem exclusive over my shoulder there.
Yeah.
All right.
Wow. So, yeah. Compositions, yeah.
All right. Glad to have you on, man.
Yeah.
No doubt. And let me go back to the phone lines and welcome on this dude from the Sunshine State of Florida. Welcome back, Brad.
That's
Brad,
me.
What's going on?
That's me.
That is you.
That's me.
Just like the Highlander, there can only be one.
There can only be. Well, in your case of me, there's two.
Well, yeah,
that's the
true.
Inside joke.
That's true.
I will never let you live that down.
I know, man. I know. Glad to have you back, dude. And let me go to this young lady. She's coming back for more cash up there in the Empire State of New York. Let me welcome on Miss Aniko. Aniko, what's going on?
Hey, everybody. How's everybody doing?
Doing well. And I didn't, my accents are horrible. So, like, can you say New York like a New Yorker would?
New York.
Sounded like one word. Yeah. All right. And I have one more person to bring on. It's been a minute, but let me get this show legend back in the mix. From the 985 area code in the Pelican State of Louisiana, please welcome on show legend Erica Warren to the Talk to Q radio show. Erica, what's going on?
Hey.
What's going on?
How y'all doing?
Man says it's York, New York. All right. And actually, hold on. There's one more person who just popped in. So let me go ahead and get him included and we'll kick things off. From the 850 area code, the Emerald Coastline of Pensacola, Florida, making his way to the ring, the man in black, the Buckster. What's going on, Buck? That music jamming. What's happening, Buck?
It is jamming. How's everybody doing this evening?
Doing
Hey,
well.
look.
Good evening.
Woo!
All right,
Right.
let's get it started. I can't remember what singer. That was a song. Let's get it started. I don't remember the group.
MC
Anyway,
Hammer.
No,
and well, actually, I was referring to a later
Black Eyed
song, but yeah,
Peas.
MC Hammer did do it too. Yeah, Black Eyed Peas.
Yeah, let's get it started.
That's what
and
I
get
was
it-
thinking about. That was a crazy video, but yeah, MC Hammer did it too. He did it first. All right, so let's start with this. And ladies first, so I'll start with you, Erica. Is it natural to still be attracted to other people, even though you may already be in a committed relationship?
Definitely. It's natural to be attractive to other people. That never goes away. You're going to always see somebody who may be a little more physically attractive than the person that you're with. We're always going to be enamored with our favorite celebrity, somebody that we know we can never have. You might see somebody in the grocery store, a good looking man, a good looking woman. Yeah, they're physically attractive. You are attracted to them. So that never goes away. No matter if you are single or in a relationship.
All right. Aniko, do you agree?
I 100% agree with her. Um, it's so natural to be attracted to multiple people at the same time. And I never understood why certain people had problems with just maybe their mate or, their significant other being attracted to, like, maybe having that, celebrity crush, you watch too many Beyonce videos, or, you compliment her too much, or, it's natural, I tell people all the time, like, people are people, and you could like one thing, you could love something. That doesn't stop you from loving something else, or, being attracted to, or even liking something else.
Okay. I get that. And fellas, what do you think? I'll just ask you all in general. Can you be in a committed relationship and still be attracted to someone?
Yeah, I mean, you can be in a committed relationship and be attracted to someone. It's just the choice of whether or not you act upon that. And in regards to what Anika was saying, is that the people who have issues with their significant others being attracted to someone else, that's an ego thing. That's their self-confidence is low in themselves.
Yes.
Okay. I get
Yeah, I
that.
like to add something, on a different wave of it, and I think what everybody said was on point. But let me see. I know a few people in here probably can understand what I'm saying. Like, not so much now, but especially in the rural South, back in 30 years ago or more, 25, 30 years ago, you had people that was saying shit like, you know, they got the confusion of lust and attraction mixed up. So they had people thinking, it was a sin and all that shit. I think that's where the stereotype of a lot of that come from. But attraction is as natural as you breathe in air. I mean, that's no different than if your favorite food is throw something out there, Popeye's chicken. Well, shit, I don't give a damn who you talk to. That ain't gonna change the next day. I mean, you see it like you pass by and say, well, okay, well, cause of my blood pressure, I ain't supposed to be eating this shit, but man, that shit still smells good. I mean, that don't change. So I mean, so I think a lot of confusion originated in some of the subcultures of, especially in Black America, but white America too, in the rural areas, with mixing up lust with attraction. It's different.
Okay. All right. And so, what about this? And Buck, I will go to you. Do you think there's anything wrong with someone being in a sexual relationship with multiple people as long as everyone's aware of it?
Whew, man, that I think to a certain degree, if they know about it, yes. It's not something that I would do, but we living in a society today where you know, you see a lot of different things out there. You know what I mean? I've known of people that have done that, and, you know, it seemed to work out for them, where, you know, they knew they were with different people and it didn't seem to be an issue. But you know, typically, you know, for me, I know I want to be with just one person. I don't want to be with multiple people. So, but it works for some people. So as long as they know about it, I guess it's okay.
Nico, what do you think?
Yeah, I have to co-sign with Buck on that one. I just can't be me personally speaking. I'm gonna say, you know, use the I perspective. I cannot be in a sexual relationship with multiple people. It's just too much. And you know, I'm 38 years old. You know, I'm up there a little, and I have to say I view sex differently from when I did back as, you know, a younger version of myself. I'm not going to tell my age, but you know, sex is to me more than just physical. You know, I believe that there's so much that happens. It's a transaction that goes beyond, and it's mental, it's emotional, it's spiritual. So to give myself that way to multiple people at a time is just, it creates an atmosphere. Like it just confuses everything. There's confusion, there's chaos, because it is chaotic. Here you are spending yourself in every aspect of yourself with multiple people. It can be draining, and we're in 2021. There's a whole lot going on. No, thank you. One and done. Thank you.
All right. And in the chat room, Carrie chimed in from Texas. She said, be honest and protect yourself. Just make sure it works for everyone involved. But she also turned around and said, that's too much energy and fluids to pass around.
Exactly. Exactly.
Brad, what's your take on it, man? You're on mute, Brad.
You mute, Brad.
Sorry. So, hey, that's a first for me. That's a first.
All right, go ahead.
So first, I gotta say, Anika, I hate to break the news to you, but there's someone else. So, so yeah, you know what? It's as several have said, if it's out there in the beginning, that's fine. If it's not, that's something totally different. Because when you enter in a relationship, you enter in a relationship on a certain set of rules and understandings. And if they change, then the relationship changes, and it may not be best for both parties. I have friends that that have put it out there that they say, hey, I don't want a monogamous relationship. I also have a friend who got married last year, and then this friend stated that she does understand now that she's attracted to women. However, she has also stated that it's something that she's understood about herself, not that it affects the relationship between her and her husband. It's purely something that she's realized about herself and not something that she's acting upon.
All right. Okay. And E-Money, how you feel about it?
Like they said before, personally for me, one at a time. I can't do more than one. And, you know, human beings are not good with having too many options. And just like Eminem said earlier, you might like a lot of different foods. And sometimes you've been in a situation where you're sitting at home and you know you're hungry, but you don't really know what you want to eat. And then you go get that pizza. Then you're like, I should have got chicken because that pizza didn't really hit the spot. I don't want to be like that in a relationship with somebody who has emotions and feelings tied into it, to where I'm with them and then I'm thinking, I should have went by Brad's house. because this dude right here didn't just hit the spot. So
Well,
too many options. Just be with one person. You put your all into that person, and then if that person doesn't work out for you, cut ties and go to the next. But it's too many options, too much confusion. I've always wondered about that. I even
That's
used to I used to ask one of my exes, how do you keep all of that, all these different women separated, and how do you not get confused, and how do you not feel like you're in one place but you want to be in another place? I never want to be in that situation.
okay. Batman said you can have pizza and chicken. He also said I had pizza and the pizza gave me gas.
You should have had the chicken then.
Let's see. Carrie
that's
said,
hilarious.
Brad, she ain't acting up on it yet. Curiosity kills relationships.
Yet.
Bill Janice in Alabama said too many energies.
Yep.
And also, Carrie said, sex doesn't equate to a relationship, but that doesn't mean it shouldn't involve respect for yourself and person/people you're with. Okay. Badman said, marriage, never again. So, all right. You have to keep your game tight. Okay. So, Eminem, let me go to you on this one, man. And Eminem, the urge to cheat is natural. Okay. The urge to cheat. But most people would argue that the act of cheating is not. Do you agree with that? Do you think it's the act of cheating that's not natural?
Wow. Now, just as a what they call it, the little disclaimers.
Mm-hmm.
I'm speaking strictly from a traditional heterosexual male perspective. Usually all that shit went for a woman. A dude is pretty much an opportunist. You know what I'm saying? That's normally how shit used to go. So I know stuff different now. And you hear shit now like uh, undressing people with your eyes and all that stuff like that. I mean, they trying to equate that to. I'm just saying, like I'm confused on all that stuff. Like if you didn't uh get the dough kicked down on you like Leon did on Colors, I mean, pretty much fuck it. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, that's just how it used to go. I mean, I know shit different now, and they talking about all kind of stuff. It's crazy. It's almost too complicated to even categorize. But yeah, I mean, I mean, uh, usually all that stuff used to go strictly for women. But and I'm before everybody erupt, I'm gonna tell you why. And it made sense because because the woman was gonna be the one with the baby maybe stuff. I mean, the daddy was gonna be the maybe. So that's what all of that came from. You know what I'm saying? Everything had an origin when people really didn't have a lot of technology and science, and stuff just carried on culturally. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
that's why people call it double standards or whatever. I mean, but that's why all of that stuff was like that. You know what I'm saying? And I know I might be getting off the question just a little bit, but that kind of brings it back to the whole thing with it. And that's why at funerals and stuff, people seeing all these cousins and half this and half this they didn't know they had, because it was known but it wasn't known. Nobody didn't care unless it was the woman. Then it was fucked up, because then it wasn't no paternity court, it wasn't no more, it wasn't no shit to right the ship. So that's where that scarlet letter, all that stuff came from, one-sided. Bring it
Okay.
forward nowadays, everything is whatever, but
All right. So in
yeah.
the chat room, Bill Janice said, I never had the urge to cheat, the urge to fight him, yes, but not cheat. She said, I'll ghost first. So she'll throw hands before she will cheat. And Aniko, I'll let you chime in on this. Do you think that the urge to cheat is natural, but the act of cheating is not?
Why yes, the urge to cheat is very natural. Um, to actually cheat, it really just depends on your personal morale, upbringing, and cultural influences, as Eminem has said. Just like lying, just like I don't know, being violent, having a hot temper, or just anything that we have tendencies to do is natural to us. It is natural to us. But should we do it? Do we always do it? No. I don't believe that men are born cheaters. I don't believe in that. I don't. I just think that throughout the years, it has been told to us time and time again that this is just something that men do. But not so. It got to be in you first. It has to be natural to you. It has to be in you. It has to be in your heart to do it. Because if it's not in your heart, you're not going to do it. Like anything else you don't want to do, you're not going to do it because you don't want to do it. But if it's in you, then it will be natural to you. And more than likely, if you don't address whatever it is that's driving you to have that urge to cheat, you are going to do it.
So, quick question: when you say if it's in you, so you're saying that it can be natural?
Absolutely, just like anything else.
Okay.
Just like anything else. Like, we all know somebody that lie and lie for no reason and lie just because. Naturally, they are a liar. It's a part of who they are until just the one day they decide to themselves, I don't want to be a liar anymore, or they just grow out of it.
Okay. Interesting. All right. And Badman in Arkansas said grits are natural too when a woman tried to throw them on a man. Bill Janice said, just like life, true, it's greed, want the cake and eat it too. And so, Buck, does the urge to cheat mostly come from maybe something lacking in the relationship? Or does it come from pure pressure to please friends?
It really depends on your situation. Everybody is surrounded by, they have that one person that seems like they kind of like get away with murder, so to speak. They may be married or may have a significant other, and they can get out there and just do whatever they want and never seem to get caught. And sometimes people, I guess you could call that peer pressure if somebody is, weak enough to to actually try something like that. But, there are also instances where, you could be, I would say, maybe the person is really coming after you and you're happy and there's no problems in your marriage or what have you, or relationship or whatnot. And there's somebody just giving you that business where they just like, damn, I really want your ass, that kind of thing. And you fight it off with all your, everything, but it just keeps coming. And, you get weak. I mean, it just really depends on your situation and what you have to deal, what you're dealing with, because it's different for every person. You can't just automatically assume it's the same for everybody. It's different for every person
Right.
that's involved.
All right. So, Erica, let me ask you, does the urge to cheat mostly come from something lacking within the relationship, or does it come from pure pressure to please friends? And I'm going to throw this in as well. Also, does one maybe apply to women and the other apply to men?
I guess it will be relative. For me personally, it never came natural to me. I never really had an urge to cheat when I was in a relationship. And so I was always curious about people who could do it so easily. I wanted to know what was their mindset and what was the thought process behind it, and how were they so comfortable to be able to do it, because it was unnatural for me. So I guess that just depends on who you are and your level of discipline when it comes to seeing something new and exciting that you want to try out. But for me in that area, that was never an issue in a relationship. I never even had the urge. Even if I saw somebody that was attractive to me, I never thought of wanting to be with them in that way when I was in a relationship. So I know some people do it for clout because especially in our society, men have been taught that the more women you knock down, the bigger chest you could bang your chest, and you're gonna have clout in the streets, and your boys gonna look up to you, and you have bragging rights. But I think that's a childish mindset. Because when you in the hospital and you taking that last breath, ain't nobody gonna be standing around your bed.
Well, look, Eric, I gotta throw something in there on that one because I slightly disagree, even though your point's pretty good.
Go ahead, Eminem. What you got?
All right, now actually, that kind of shit came from women. They just didn't say it. See what I'm saying? The clout part.
How?
See what I'm saying? It's one dude to get all the babies because that's how it go. Because that shit came from the women. They just don't say it. That's why culturally guys be saying that, because that's how you get more women. Make sense?
So you attract more women by the more women that you sleep with?
Yes. Because the first thing they want to know is what you
We don't want no
what your mama
community
they were
ping.
doing. Hey, you know how that shit
I
go.
don't
I'm
want
just saying,
something
like,
that
and I'm not
everybody done
saying,
had.
no. You speaking for yourself, and that's cool. But I'm saying, but you know how it go. I'm saying, you know how that shit is.
I understand.
You ain't
what
never went to
Eminem
no
is.
washateria or something like that.
We could go this.
I kind of understand what he's saying because
Hey,
there's
Eminem, we could actually go.
Go ahead, Buck.
Go ahead. All I was going to say was, Eminem has a solution to this whole problem. Contact your senators, your House of Representatives, and push for Bill 1313.
Okay.
There we go.
This is kind of this show, this particular subject. I'm surprised he hadn't already said it. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and say it for him because I know he wants to. So I'm gonna go ahead and say it for
I'm
you.
sure he'll get to it.
Contact your senators and your House of Representatives. And that way I don't have to follow them afterwards. We're doing that. Final thought. Just go ahead and just push Bill 1313, and they'll solve all these problems.
And Eminem been on. He been trying to get that passed for the last 10 years, huh?
He's still trying. But no, I actually understand what he's saying because there was the late comedian Patrice O'Neal talked about how he said men are like fishermen. And if a woman can't smell that fish on you, she's not going to want you. So you have to show that you know how to fish, or you're not going to get any women. And so I kind of understand what he's saying, and it doesn't apply to everybody. I get it, but he talked about how women get bored in a relationship with guys because they forget how to fish. He goes, you ain't got to act on it, but you got to show that you can still get other women if you want your woman to still want you. So I mean,
nothing turns a woman on more, especially in the in the African American community. Nothing turns a woman on more than knowing she got the dude, or think she got the dude that everybody wants. That's like the ultimate challenge. You know what I'm saying? Can I get daddy long stroke to settle down with me?
That's true to a certain degree.
Let me just.
That's true. That's true because anytime you walk up into a place, all right, go ahead.
No, it's okay, Buck. Go ahead.
What I was saying, sometimes when you go to a place and you see a person getting a lot of attention, and when they get a lot of attention, you get noticed, then they're going like, ooh, what's so different about this guy that's not different about anybody else that's in here? Why is he getting all the love or what have you? Then, sometimes that one person, gets all the attention, and that's what gets him, looks like he's the one that's getting everything. So that's the one you want to get. So, I mean, it happens that way sometimes.
So, I mean, and it's part of a myth that people. Well, it's not really a myth because it's some truth to it. It's kind of like nobody wants you until you get someone. And now once you're with somebody, everybody wants you. But I'm sorry, Nico. Go ahead with your point.
I have a true to life story. There is this young man that I grew up with, know him for a very, very long time. And in junior high school, he was a nobody. Like, we were kids, but then, he gets a little older and suddenly, he has some muscles and, he's looking good and stuff. And there's this thing that men do sometimes. They'll be with somebody and they'll post that person all the time. And it really is a double-sided coin because on one side, he's sort of proving to his significant other, see, I brag about you all the time. I let people know that I'm with you and what I do for you and how much I love you. But what the significant other didn't really understand was that a lot of the time he was doing what the old folks used to say, fishing. Because some women will look at that situation and be like, oh, look what he's doing for her. Look how much he loves her. Look how all the love he's showing her. And then in their mind, they're thinking, well, I want some of that too. I want some attention too. Or their ego is pretty much saying, no, I bet I could get him to be with me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And guess what? He got a lot of women just like that. So whatever he started posting all heavy about his significant other and, oh, I love her. Oh, I just got finished doing this for her, spending this and that on her. And she thought she was just eating it up. Like, oh, my man, he can't be cheating on me because they know about me and, they know he's crazy about me. But what she didn't understand was this man was collecting panties. I mean, galore. And I know this man personally. And, trust me when I say that it brought more attention.
It works. It works. You can, and I don't know if Buck remembers this or not, but like back in my 20s, there was a time I was telling women I was engaged because it got me more attention.
A buddy wore a ring.
Yeah, even though I
Wow.
wasn't. So it does work. Bill Janice says, I was done like that by a guy.
I do remember that.
Bill Janice said, I was done like that by a guy. He used me as bait.
Yep.
And I used my bat. And man, you better watch out for Bill Janice. She ain't playing down there in Alabama. She said, that's why I'm single. Give me the road. Let's take it.
That's why I tell women, don't be all enamored by your man posting you on social media like that's validating your relationship. Baby, he might be fishing.
Could be fishing. All right. Now, so people say that there are animals in the wild that are naturally monogamous, so people should be too. And that's partially true. I mean, less than 5% of mammals are actually monogamous. But well, here's an animal. A goose is truly monogamous. Even if their mate gets killed, they won't mate again for the rest of their life. Okay, so that's truly monogamous. People aren't like that. So do you think, I'm going to go to you, Brad. Do you think that we are taught to be monogamous because that's what society wants?
Hey, my mic is on.
All right.
I think yeah, because we've been preached to by the religious society for hundreds if not thousands of years as this is the way that we're supposed to act. But we have to look upon ourselves as how are we built. Like personally for me, I'm monogamous. I know that I'm not built to be with several women at once, although I am single. So ladies, so I know that I'm not built to be like that, but I have friends who are built like that are meant to be with multiple people in an open relationship, and they're upfront about that. But this is something that's taught. You know what? And I'm going to say this, much like the society who says, hey, everyone needs to be straight. It's the right way to be. When you know that it's not for you, you just have to be true to yourself. Be right by yourself, and be right for the people that you're in relationships with. As long as you're all on the same page, that's what counts.
I feel you on that.
Motherfuckers!
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
That dude, and he wonders why he's single. So anyone else want to chime in on that?
I do want to co-sign with Brad. You know, it really is about finding your person, finding who is actually on the same page as you. When it comes to monogamy, I'm gonna let you know right now, especially now, I am built for only monogamy. You know, has nothing to do with religion or anything like that. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I'm old and tired. I don't have the time. Like, you know, the whole learning this person and learning that person and what makes them tick and what makes them go. And I don't want that. Like, I just want to, if I'm single now, but if I was to enter in a relationship, it has to be monogamous for the simple fact that I'm putting so much time and effort to learn this person, get to know this person, and they're getting to know me, and we're setting up, you know, a flow. And, you know, I just can't do that with multiple people. And I know there are people who are able to do it, but I cannot do it. And to be honest with you, a lot of the issues today in society that we're facing is because people refuse to be monogamous, or they're not being honest. They're not being honest about what they actually want. And let me tell you, men, you don't have to lie. Listen to me. You don't have to lie. I'm going to tell you why. A lot of the things that you want, women want it too. And if they don't want what you want, then go find somebody who actually does. Go find somebody who's actually okay with you seeing more than one person, because they're out there. Not every woman wants to be monogamous, and not every woman wants to be married. Let's just make that very clear.
All right. Bad man said, don't lie to kick it. And so, I mean, so can open relationships work? Can people have physical relationships with multiple people, yet still be committed to one person who is okay with that lifestyle? That's for anybody.
I've seen it. And I know people who actually, you know, they're honest, you know, a married couple, and the wife clearly knows that her husband steps out, and her response to him is, just don't bring back anything, no diseases or no babies, you know. And she's fine with it. She's well taken care of, you know. And he's a very present husband and father. And I'm not saying that it's right, okay? I'm not saying that. For me, no, I can't. But for them, it does work. It does work. But then you have to find somebody who is actually okay with that from jump. Not somebody that you cheat on all the time, and then now they don't want to leave, but they're like, well, if I want to stay, I got to put up with this. Because ultimately, they're not okay with it. So it's not going to work.
And Mel Janice said, as long as my bills paid tight. She goes, not me though, but be safe. And I mean, so there is, I mean, I guess what people are saying is that there is no one size fits all when it comes to relationships. So should society be accepting of polyamorous relationships or polygamy? Why or why not? For whoever wants to respond.
I just feel like if roles were reversed and if we could go around and get y'all pregnant, we'd have more monogamous relationships out here.
Oh, hell no. No.
I'm going to make a whole lot of baby daddies.
I don't need that whole stretch any longer.
You know, really.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Look, everybody talking about hell no.
The thing is, really and truthfully, no, really, if people were more upfront in the beginning I think that's what will make either your monogamous relationship or the other way around. If you're upfront and don't lie to the person and just say, hey, this is what I want, or hey, I'm not ready for it. I mean, it's all right to say you're not ready to be in a relationship. You have to be upfront with people, because I was talking to a friend of mine the other night, and we're definitely interested in each other. In fact, we've dated before. But the thing is that sometimes people are going through a whole lot of things, and they want to you don't want to bring demons or bring baggage from another relationship into a relationship to get really blossom, because you could see, between us two, we could see how things could really be very good. But, you have to listen. You got to communicate. You got to understand what situation you're in, where you are in life. And what she said, I could see what she was saying. And I wasn't the one that was asking. She was the one that really wanted to take it further. But she goes, I'm not ready. And I'm going like, I wish people would be more upfront like that to begin with, because sometimes you can, whether you're ready to be in a relationship or not. Some people actually reach to be in relationships and get hooked up with these chicken heads and be in one of the worst relationships they ever want to be in, because they're reaching because they think they have to have somebody. You don't have to have anybody. You could be perfectly fine by yourself. Sometimes you have to find yourself, if that makes sense, before you get into another relationship. Get rid of all the bad things that have happened and move forward. And then you can go into a new relationship and be confident that you're ready and the other person is ready. So you got to talk. You got to communicate. You got to listen. You have to listen to what's being said. Because if you don't listen, you could put yourself in a really bad or sticky situation.
Yeah, you're right about that. And Shanika in the Show Me State of Missouri said, do what makes you happy, but always be honest with the person you're pursuing. And Bad Man said, my last relationship ended because I had 5 bags of drama.
You know that bad man said 5 bags, and that actually means like 12.
Right. He said, I should have taken a 2-year break after the divorce, but on life, the little head was talking and the big head was not thinking. That'll get you every time. All right. So let me ask you, if people were more accepting of polyamorous relationships, I mean, do you think that the divorce rate will go down in this country?
Nope.
I think that they are beginning to become more accepting of polyamorous relationships, but the beginning part of that is being honest to everyone about it. Now, I will say this: it depends on what part of the country you're talking about, because if you're in the religious belt
in Utah,
it's gonna take a while. But in a lot of the different areas of the country, it's in your face all the time. I mean, I grew up with a lot of the stuff being from Miami and seeing not necessarily, polyamorous relationships, but back then you didn't really talk about being in same-sex couples or whatnot. But I grew up with an aunt of mine who was, and I'll tell you what happened is that not to draw this on long, but I remember one specific time going to my aunt and uncle's house, and my other aunt was already there, and she said, Brad, can I talk to you for a second? And I said, okay. And we went outside, and you don't do that in a Jewish house, because automatically I was thinking, who has cancer? So she said, Gail and I are going to get married. And I said, well, what took you so long? And she said, I'm glad you said that. I said, well, what else was I going to say? She said, well, apparently my grandmother, her mother, said to her, why do you have to do that to me? Because she thought off the cuff. She didn't mean it. But that's what we're dealing with in society. And it's a gradual thing. But people have to be open and honest about it. Because if you keep it hidden, if you keep it on the side, it's never going to get accepted.
I understand.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
does take exposure. It really does. And Batman said his ex-girlfriend had a girlfriend, and it went well until one person got in their feelings.
And that's the thing. I don't believe that being polyamorous is going to solve the divorce problem, because people lie and people change their minds every day. And just
Yes.
because I agreed to it today doesn't mean I'm going to feel good about it next year, especially like he said, when people's feelings get involved. We all going to agree to this situation and say that we're good with it. But down the line, somebody's going to catch feelings. Somebody's going to get jealous. Somebody's going to feel like somebody's getting more attention than the other one, and they're going to want out of it. Same way with a regular marriage. You go into it with the best intentions. Somebody changes their mind. Somebody doesn't like how it's going, and it changes. So I don't think being polyamorous is going to change that.
Yes, and to chime in and piggyback off what Erica was saying, I 100% agree with her. Polyamorous relationships are not going to change the divorce rate at all, because not only do people, change their mind, but even entering into partnership, marriage, people do so for all the wrong reasons. And a lot like we were saying before, that there's societal pressure. And let me tell you something, it's insane. I'm speaking from as a woman in her late 30s, single in New York.
I thought you were much younger, by the way.
No, I'm old. But so, being single in New York, and people look at me like I am crazy that I'm still single. And when I explain to them, like, I'm just taking my time, and, I'm taking care of myself, and I don't want to rush into anything, and I want to be sure of whatever it is I'm doing. And they look at me like I have 3 heads coming out of my neck, because they would much rather me be with someone, anyone, than to be happy and single on my own. They don't think it's possible. I know a few people right now who have married for all the wrong reasons, because they were getting up there in age, because their siblings were all married and they want to be left out, or because they just wanted to say, I'm married.
Yeah, it's going to be a problem when you do that. And Bill Janice said, as far as being in polyamorous relationships, it's just extra drama and attitudes in the house.
Exactly.
All right. So we'll get ready to wrap things up and get to our final thoughts. On next Tuesday's show, we'll discuss if we've completely embraced stripper culture or not. At one time, people shamed strippers and little clear heels and all that stuff. Now, so many women emulate their style and fashion, and so many guys only seem to want women who fit that profile. So this show will piss some people off, but hey, we discuss the tough topics here on the Talk to Q radio show. No experts, just opinions. Also, this weekend is the New Renaissance Art Show. It's going down from 4:30 to 7:30 p.m. Central Time in the Crown Room at the Hilton Hotel on County Line Road in Jackson, Mississippi. Be sure to come out and check out some of the artwork. We have a good time every year. I think this is the 19th year this has been done. And Eminem, I'll let you tell the people about it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I've been, fortunate enough to, do this thing, man, almost 2 decades. So I was late getting it together this year. Had a lot of stuff going on, but like you said, we always have a good time. And he always patronized a lot of my fellow coworkers from the past. It's kind of like it ain't the shit like I never wanted my stuff to be like people just walking around and being bougie and stuff like that, man. My shit like like a combination of a barbershop, art gallery.
I lost you, Eminem. Eminem, I lost your signal. You might have to stand by the window and lift your left leg up, see if we can get that signal back. Okay. Well, I'm sure he'll get back in, but Yeah, we have a great time at that every year. Like I said, that's one of his pieces behind me right there that I bought a few years ago. And then in my man cave, you've probably seen in previous shows the little Kobe Bryant piece he made for me last year. So we have a lot of fun. Just the stories behind the artwork is usually really pretty cool. Sometimes it's hilarious to hear his inspiration. But if you happen to be in the Jackson area this weekend, then be sure to come out and check it out. All right, so we'll get to our final thoughts. Shut this thing down. I've enjoyed talking to you all. And Nico, I'll start with you, ma'am. Give your final thoughts on the evening, please, on if cheating is natural or not.
Well, all I can say is, just be honest. Just be honest about where you are, who you are, and things will go smoothly from there. Cheating is natural, like anything else that we do, but you don't have to, you know.
Okay, that's it.
That's it.
All right. All right. Well, I appreciate you coming on. You can follow her on Twitter at Aniko RTZU. Thanks for joining the show. Buck, I will go to you next, sir. Give your final thoughts on the evening.
Great show. I mean, it's good to talk about these kind of topics because it's good to hear, what people may have gone through or know somebody that has gone through something like this. I don't think cheating is natural. I think cheating is a product of your, what's going on in your relationship. And if you get, a lot of this stuff can really be alleviated by choosing the right person. A lot of times we reach and we pick people that maybe the person is treating you really nice, and that this person is not somebody that you would necessarily date, but they're being nice to you and things are going well. It seems like they always call or talk to you when things are going bad, and they just kind of pull you, lure you in, and you choose to be with this person, and then the real person comes out. All the niceness goes away, and things like that. Bad things start happening in the relationship. And sometimes that pushes you into to a situation where you may cheat or what have you, or bad things may be going on in your marriage, and you don't do the necessary things, go to counseling, whatever you got to do to save the relationship. A lot of that can be alleviated on the front end when you're doing your investigation or what have you, or your interview, so to speak, when you're meeting somebody for the first time. It doesn't take much to figure out, and especially in today's time, whether that person is really going to meet your expectations or not. We just sometimes we get too quick and just, trying to hurry up and get in. You got to make sure you do your homework and figure out whether this person is going to be right for you. Ask the necessary probing questions on the front end, be upfront, and you'll find out really quickly whether this person is going to be somebody that you can be with long term. So my advice, the best advice is to go out there and make sure you do the right things necessary. Do your homework. Find out if this person is going to be right for you. You just can't just rush up into something after a couple of dates and say, all right, this is it. I got the right one. No, you have to do what is necessary and required, because if it's somebody that you want to spend the rest of your life with, it's just like buying a car almost. You ain't going to just go buy the first thing smoking. You got to test drive it a little bit, figure it out, make sure this is something that this is something you're going to be in every day. Same thing in a relationship. You got to test it out, figure it out, make sure it's the right person for you. Don't rush. You can always go to another lot. You can always go out on another date, so to speak, and figure out if this is the right person for you. So I hate to use the car analogy, but just for I'm just doing that so everybody can understand what I'm talking about. You got to know what you're doing. You got to know what you're doing. So that's my advice. So therefore, because I'd rather be by myself and enjoy my life without all the headaches than to be in a relationship and have headaches and be unhappy with somebody that you don't want to be with. So do the homework on the front end so you can have fun on the back end. everybody enjoy the rest of your weekend, the rest of your week rather, and see you next time.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. And Eminem, what you got, man?
Oh man, great show. Fantastic topics. You know what I'm saying? Great guests. So good to have Legendary back on. But
I'm getting a little
man,
static feedback. Just letting you know.
okay,
Go
what
ahead.
about? All right.
You good?
Let me open it. All right. Like I
Yeah,
say,
stick
man.
your head out the window.
Okay, hold on. Let me get out my studio. Hold on. I'm on the garage, man. Hold on.
Oh boy.
All right. Y'all hear me a little bit better?
Keep talking. I'll let you know.
Okay. But yeah, man, great show.
At least you're not in Yugoslavia.
But what Buck was saying, I just got to piggyback off right quick what he was saying. That's the truth. But did y'all see that promo flyer Q put up for the show topic next week? Yeah, when something like that in real life come at you, then all that shit he's saying, it's now Buck on point now, but all that shit go out the window. So that's why you see a lot of pro athletes and guys like that mess it up, because money is the worst thing that ever could have happened to young males, especially because when you get a lot of money, you can get advice from your favorite best uncle that know everything. I've been down through there and back again. So everything he telling you, he can put money on it. He telling the truth. But when you get off that plane and you see all that action coming at you like that, all that go out the window. So that's just keep that in mind. But yeah, great show, man. I don't understand the whole polygamy thing, because nobody I know goes around saying, man, I want as many wives as I can get, unless they're from another country or something. No disrespect to people from countries like that. Most people coming up like, man, I'm trying to get all the chicks I can get. So I never understood that part of it. But yeah, that's Eminem saying that. I don't understand polygamy as far as on paper. I ain't talking about in real life. I'm talking about I do. I ain't talking about, cat just getting it in, I'm saying I do. I never understood why you got to say I do, and it's right there in your face. But damn, what's the other topic? Hold on. We talked about three. but yeah. Buck threw me off a little bit when he passed the bill real quick. But I gotta tell you, and I'm telling you, and when you really think about it, everything we talking about is stuff when people can't get.
Oh, there goes that signal again, Eminem.
It's serious.
Gosh, I'm so glad I said that earlier today, so that way you get cut off.
Yeah, because it's gonna be dead serious. They're gonna be like, okay, I can buy all I want and what I want, and chick can be like, well, I can get all my utilities paid, so they ain't got me no games played. So, throw it out there. 1313, register. Matter of fact, my shit cut off, but if you in Jackson this weekend, the new Renaissance Art Show in the Gala, you can register there and we can get a petition started. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to use your real name. You can just put some.
Oh my goodness! No, you didn't.
Kiki,
no, you didn't.
JJ,
no, you didn't.
You put all that shit on there. Let that shit circulate.
All right, man. I appreciate it.
One more thing too. I know that horn coming. For the people who are wanting to experiment a little bit, one thing you got to put on your bucket list, even though 38 ain't really that old, shit, man. You don't know what you missed till you've been in a choo-choo.
Oh,
Just
Lord.
Eminem. Stop trolling, Eminem. Stop trolling.
All right, Eminem. I appreciate it, man. I'll see you this weekend.
Oh.
And Brad, what you got, man? Final thoughts. You got to go behind that.
Well, all right. I got plenty to say. First of all, the people who cheat for a big part, they're either fucking drunk, high, or they're narcissists. Because the people who are narcissists will be in committed relationships, but also, you know, do whatever the fuck they want to do because it pleases them, because they're all about them. I've been wanting to say that for a while, but I've been nice. I've been nice, Q. I've been quiet. I know you're not used to the quiet, Brad,
Mm-mm.
but I've been quiet. So, you know, when it all comes down to it, we are, and I'm going to agree with, you know, I've been drinking a little bit, so I can't remember who agreed with me, but that was disagreeing with Anika, is that we're not natural cheaters. We are naturally attracted to other people. It's whether or not we choose to act upon that. That's what the point is. Because I'm attracted to, many women, but I know that if I'm in a relationship, I'm not going to act upon it because I value the relationship between me and her. Narcissists don't give a fuck. They just care about whatever's going to be good for them. But when it all comes down to it, if you truly want to be in a polyamorous relationship, then you need to be upfront about it. And what was also said a few minutes ago, I've got a friend of mine that she has been upfront, and she is of the Black community. She's been to I think hedonism
Yeah.
once or twice. That's some crazy shit. But but she's all been talking about that, how that's her tribe. Because some people are not meant to be in a monogamous relationship. But if you really care about your partner, you're going to be upfront about how you want to live your life and determine if it's right for both of you to be together. Because when it comes down to it, it's all about the relationships that we build and keep.
No doubt. Ask your
I
doctor.
don't have a mic, so I'm going to drop my wallet.
Ask your doctor if polyamory is right for you.
There you go.
Glad to see you, man. Always fun to have you on.
Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure to be your token white man.
Erica, I will let you shut it down.
All right. Thank you for having me back, Q. This was a great discussion. And I don't think that being cheaters is natural. It's not surprising. It's not shocking anymore in our society. But I don't think that it's natural. And like Brad said, it's natural to be attractive to other people, but it's not natural to act on it and to cheat on a person that you claim to love, that you're in a relationship with, that you're committed to. I don't think that is natural. And so, in my opinion, we are not natural born cheaters. It is something that we feel we're entitled to, or something that we feel that we are lacking. And like he said, narcissism, people who have no regard for anybody else. It's only about what they want in that moment. And so that's why cheating is so prevalent nowadays in our society. And if it was so natural, why do people go through such lengths to hide it, to lie about it, to be deceptive? If it was so natural, we would be open and honest about it. So that's my take on it. It's not a natural thing, but it's not a shocking thing either.
All right. Good stuff. All right. And I appreciate you all coming on to join me this evening. And shout out to everyone in the chat room. I appreciate your participation as well. Bad Man cracking up, Bill, Janice, Shanika. Who else am I forgetting that was in there?
I want to party with Bad Man sometime.
So I've had the pleasure of meeting Bad Man before. And that's a cool dude. It's funny as all get out, but he's as cool as they come.
And he didn't ruin your relationship. That's a plus.
All right. So, but that's going to do it for this week's T2Q. Please like and share and follow me on social media at Talk to Q. I hope that everyone enjoys the rest of their week. And we'll talk to you next week when we talk about stripper mentality. Go Blue. Peace out. Batman, congratulations on your graduation tomorrow, bro.